All right, so today we're going deep on 90s sitcoms,
Okay.
but with a twist.
Oh, a twist, huh?
Yeah, we're going to be looking at Friends and Seinfeld, but through like a gendered lens.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so using some IMDb ratings data that we have broken down by male and female viewers.
Interesting.
And you would think, right?
Yeah.
Like their shows were pretty universally beloved.
Yeah, totally.
But the data tells a different story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually pretty surprising.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Are you ready to dive in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Data on the screen, numbers come alive. Male, female flows where the patterns thrive. Visual charts, public colors unify. Gender decoded, bringing truth to light. Watch 'em all drum fill. We break it down, real talk. Trends unveiling facts from every block. Here's your insight, watch the data glide. Gender decoded, let the beats collide. We break it down, real talk. Trends unveiling facts from every block. Here's your insight, watch the data glide. Gender decoded, let the beats collide.
Okay, so first up, Friends.
Okay.
And what's crazy is that like men and women's ratings were so similar.
Huh.
It's almost a perfect correlation.
Wow.
Men averaged 8.48 stars out of 10.
Okay.
And women just a smidge higher, 8.44.
So basically the same.
Basically, yeah.
Huh.
What do you think's going on there?
Well, I mean, on the surface,
Yeah.
Friends is like all about relationships and, emotional journeys and stuff.
Right.
So maybe that, naturally draws in a wider audience.
Right.
But I think it's more than that. Well, they really managed to like blend that heartfelt stuff with the humor.
I see.
So it wasn't just like sappy or cheesy.
Yeah.
It was actually funny,
Right. Yeah.
And I think that combination just worked.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like you were invested in their lives.
Yeah.
But you were also laughing along the way.
Totally.
Whether you were a guy or a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
But even with that overall balance,
There
were a couple episodes that stood out.
Really?
Yeah. So for women,
Yeah.
the episode that skewed the most female was the one with the invitation.
Oh, yeah, the flashback episode.
Right, exactly.
Where Ross is getting married.
Yeah. But we get that whole like history of his relationship with Rachel.
Oh, man.
Total tearjerker.
So I can see why women rated that one higher.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You got the nostalgia.
Right.
The Ross and Rachel drama.
It's like all the emotional buttons.
Exactly.
Now, was there an episode, though,
Yeah.
that the guys preferred more?
There was one, the one with Ross and Monica's cousin.
Oh, yeah?
That's where Joey has that nude audition.
Oh, right.
And let's just say the humor in that one
Yeah.
maybe appeals to a more male audience.
Classic Joey.
Right.
So even with a show that's like generally balanced,
Yeah.
we see these little like
Uh-huh.
tilts.
Yeah.
Speaking of tilts, though,
Okay.
let's move on to Seinfeld.
Right. Bring on the Seinfeld.
Now, the data here
Yeah.
is a completely different picture.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, that nice correlation we saw with Friends between men and women,
Yeah.
that's gone.
Huh.
With Seinfeld, it drops significantly.
Interesting.
And the average scores show it, too.
Okay.
Men averaged 8.48.
Okay.
Women were down at 7.99.
Oh, wow.
That's a much bigger difference.
Yeah, it is.
Than Friends. Makes you think about all those claims about Seinfeld being a show about nothing.
Right.
If it's about nothing,
What?
shouldn't everyone love it equally?
Good point.
So what is it about Seinfeld that could explain this?
Well, Seinfeld is definitely more like observational humor.
Yeah.
Kind of cynical sometimes,
Mhm.
Awkward, uncomfortable situations.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that just hits differently with men.
What do you think?
I know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like they're holding a mirror up to society's weirdness.
Yeah.
But maybe guys just find it funnier.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
I mean, Friends tackled relatable stuff, too, like
Yeah.
divorce and career struggles. But
Yeah.
it always had that warmth, you know?
Yeah.
Seinfeld went for the jugular, all
Yeah.
the cringy stuff.
The awkward.
The awkward.
Exactly.
And that's where we see the real difference in those ratings.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, the data definitely points to a couple of episodes that really show this.
Okay, so which episodes are we talking about?
Well, on the female side,
Okay.
you got The Virgin. Elaine's commentary on men's behavior in that one was brilliant.
Yeah.
And it seems like women really loved it.
Yeah, Elaine did not hold back.
Yep.
Now, what about the guys?
So for the guys, the episode that stood out was the opposite.
Oh, the one where George does everything opposite.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a classic.
And that one scored really high with men.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a male fantasy, you know?
What do you mean?
Like turning your life around just by...
Yeah, just doing the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but
Yeah.
maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, like it speaks to some deeper male desire.
Interesting take.
So even within these like broader comedic styles, it's those little nuances.
It's true.
You know, a specific character's perspective can totally change how an episode is received.
Totally.
Huh. Fascinating.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We keep talking about like specific episodes and how they show the difference in how men and women respond to humor.
Yeah.
But when you look at the bigger picture, it's even more interesting.
Okay, what do you mean?
Remember how we said that IMDb probably has more male users?
Yeah. I've always heard that those rating sites tend to skew male.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Even with that potential bias, Friends had almost the exact same scores.
Wow.
From both men and women.
You're right.
Yeah, 8.40 from men. 8.44 from women.
That is crazy when you think about it. Like
Yeah.
it really says something about Friends, you know?
Totally.
That it was able to connect with everyone.
Yeah.
Even in a space that might like favor male opinions.
Cool.
So what was it about Friends
Right.
that let it do that?
I don't know. Maybe the relationships,
Right.
the strong female friendships.
Yeah.
The mix of humor and, you know, just like good vibes.
Yeah. It had all of that.
Yeah.
And it just felt genuine, you know?
Yeah, it did.
Regardless of your gender.
Totally.
But then we look at Seinfeld, and on the surface you would think it would have broader appeal. But we see this gap in the ratings.
A pretty big one.
Yeah, men loved it, 8.48 average.
Yeah.
But women were down at 7.99.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's like Seinfeld is this puzzle.
Totally.
It's all about, you know, those little universal annoyances, those awkward social situations.
Right. Everyone's been there.
Yeah, but for some reason...
Yeah.
Guys just seem to love it more.
I guess so.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it goes back to that cynical edge. You know,
yeah.
the way Seinfeld just points out the absurdity.
Right.
But it doesn't try to like fix it or make you feel better about it.
Friends, even when it was dealing with tough stuff,
Yeah.
always had this undercurrent of hope.
Yeah, like things would work out.
Yeah.
Seinfeld was just like,
not so much. It's like Friends offered you this sense of community, of belonging.
yeah, you've got your people. You're going to figure it out.
Exactly. And Seinfeld was like, you're alone.
Alone in this crazy world.
Yeah, and it's all pointless.
All right.
Maybe that resonated differently with men and women. All men and women, everyone has their own unique comedic tastes.
Right.
But the data does suggest a trend, a tendency. It's fascinating to consider how our own personal experiences, and yes, even our gender, can shape what we find funny or relatable.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, are there even deeper reasons behind these preferences?
Right.
Why might men gravitate towards that absurdist humor while women connect more with those emotional narratives?
Interesting.
Is it nature or nurture?
Right.
Cultural conditioning?
Yeah.
Societal expectations?
It's a real head scratcher.
It is. It really is.
It's a question that goes beyond the realm of sitcoms.
Right.
And touches upon some really interesting questions about gender, humor, and how we process the world around us.
Right.
But let's not forget, we're also talking about the actors themselves.
Oh, right.
Could their gender be influencing how viewers connect with these shows?
Good point.
Yeah.
We were so focused on the characters and the comedic styles, we almost forgot about the real people behind those iconic roles.
Exactly.
So we were just talking about the actors themselves, whether their gender could actually play a role in how viewers connect with Friends and Seinfeld is a fascinating layer.
It is.
To this whole gender and comedy puzzle.
It really is.
Think about it.
Okay.
Friends has that balanced ensemble cast.
3 women.
3 women.
3 men.
And each character gets their fair share of the spotlight, both comedically and emotionally.
Yeah.
That kind of equal representation might actually contribute to the show's broad appeal across genders.
Right. Yeah.
You're seeing all these different perspectives and experiences reflected on screen, which can make it easier for viewers to find a character that they identify with, regardless of their own gender.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Friends always felt really inclusive. Like everyone had a voice at the table. But with Seinfeld, Elaine's definitely outnumbered by Jerry, George, and Kramer. Don't get me wrong. She's a fantastic character.
Oh, she is.
But a lot of the humor in Seinfeld revolves around those male perspectives and experiences.
Right.
Could that be a factor?
Yeah, it's possible.
In why men tend to rate the show higher overall?
If you see more of your own life reflected in the characters and the humor, you're more likely to connect with it on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Think about those classic Seinfeld bits about dating woes, job frustrations, or like navigating those awkward social situations.
Right.
They might resonate more strongly with men who've been there.
Right. Like they're watching a slightly exaggerated version of their own lives unfold on screen.
Right.
And that can be both hilarious and relatable.
Totally.
So it seems like the composition of the cast, the balance of perspectives might be another piece of the puzzle.
Right.
When it comes to understanding these gendered rating patterns.
Exactly.
And it reinforces this idea that representation matters.
It does.
Not just in terms of diversity, but also in how those diverse voices actually shape the overall narrative and comedic sensibility of a show.
Right.
So after diving deep into these ratings, the different comedic styles, and even the impact of the actors themselves, what's the big takeaway for you?
What have we learned about this complex relationship between gender and comedy? What, for me, the most striking takeaway is that humor, while often seen as universal, is also deeply personal and influenced by our individual experiences and identities.
Totally.
Gender is just one piece of that puzzle, but it's a significant one.
It's like we're all bringing our own baggage to the comedy table.
Right.
Our backgrounds.
Our perspectives.
Our preferences.
Our sense of humor.
And even our gender. And all of that influences how we interpret humor, what we find fun.
What makes us cringe.
And which characters we connect with.
Exactly.
And what's so fascinating is that these seemingly lighthearted sitcoms, Friends and Seinfeld, can actually offer these unexpected insights into those deeper cultural and societal dynamics. Who knew that analyzing IMDb ratings could lead us down such a thought-provoking path?
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Okay.
But we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you think the difference in comedic styles
between Friends and Seinfeld?
Friends focus on emotional realism versus Seinfeld's absurdist take on social norms.
Yeah.
Is that the key to understanding these gendered rating patterns?
Interesting question.
Or is there something even deeper at play?
Right.
Hit us up on social media.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Until next time.
Bye.